At the moment it's a really popular, trendy kind of style, worldwide actually, because even when I teach people abroad, they're all asking me to teach them this haircut. Yeah, most people struggle with the lengths around the face, so going from that really short length into the longer length, and making that suitable for the individual client as well. So learning and knowing how to adjust it depending on the hair texture, the hair type that you're working on as well, any growth patterns, like what we saw on Niamh's hair today, and managing the lengths based on all the different factors that can impact the lengths that you choose. Maintaining length whilst keeping shorter lengths inside is one of the hardest things that people find. So that lower zone, that bottom zone, is like a safety for the length overall, but also, as you're saying, like for keeping the weight in that area, because it's very easy to go pick a length inside that works, and then by the time you get to the hairline, you've either taken too much weight away or you've gone too short for the length that you discussed with the client. So making that work in proportion with the lengths inside, because with Niamh specifically today, the more important lengths for her were the shape around the face and having that texture and movement with the shorter lengths inside. She wasn't so fixated on the length externally, so I knew I had the ability to choose that afterwards. But still, I think even if someone is fixated on, okay, I really don't want it to be any shorter than this, then you've got that safety with that zone, that third zone. Yeah, I think when I work with disconnection, I try to, like in the past, I would base it on shapes. Like this is going to do a round shape on the top with this zone, or a triangular or a square shape. But now I base it more on how much hair do I want left in this zone to help me achieve the look that I'm visualising. So I base it, as you say, on the amount of hair. When I separate out that hair in the bottom, I'm looking at the density. I wanted an even amount of hair from the back to the front. And when you focus on that, it will dictate the shape of the zone, the placement and the size anyway. Sometimes it's not even balanced from side to side because the hairline may be different on one side to the other, or the density may be lower on one side, which actually I had on Niamh's hair on the top anyway, because especially in the zone around the front, one of the recession areas was a lot weaker, so I had to make the zone slightly further back to make sure I had visually the amount of hair looking balanced in that zone. Focusing on that, it's very easy to adapt it to clients, whereas if you follow a specific zoning in particular, it may not always work because of the changes in the fixed analysis that we'll look at the beginning. Yeah, definitely. I think they're embracing their natural texture, not through laziness or an inability to style their hair, but just through loving their natural movement, whether that's like wavy or more textured. But I think this shape works on all textures, even straighter hair. Again, just making sure the proportions work with the lengths for the different textures that you're using. But it is a great shape to just wash and go, or just style, like leave it to dry by itself. Depending on the lengths and the differences in the lengths between the zones, if they're quite different in length, it would be easy to find the same zoning that you used before. If they're quite similar, then I would base it again on my same thought process when I cut it for the first time. So again, just zoning based on the amount of hair that I need to keep in that area for the look that I'm going for. I used a razor today to soften and texturize, so maybe next time I wouldn't need to do that because the ends would already be quite soft. So some aspects of the technique may not be needed the next time, obviously depending on how much the hair's grown and the lengths that you're taking it to.